So today, let's talk about, is your life one of free will or predestiny? Philosophers and theologians and wise men throughout all of history have pondered this question. And if it were just fascinating metaphysical speculation that we could just talk about a little bit like gossip or something would be one thing. But this question actually is more than speculative musing. It is very important. It is a critical issue that affects each and every one of you in your life and everyone else around you. How you live your life can definitely be influenced by whether you accept the premise that you've been given free will by a creator or God, or that God has you living a predestined life. Many schools of theology have agreed that humankind is given free will to choose whatever they want at any moment in their life. And yet, at the same time, we speak of messiahs and prophets and the like who incarnated on this earth with definite predestined missions for humanity. So is it then possible that some people have predestiny and others are caught up in free will? Or is it that all people, whether they're not messiahs or prophets, just regular beings, are subject to a life that is predestined? In actuality, the truth is, whether you accept one of free will or predestiny, it may lie somewhere in between the both of them. A soul, as the example, may incarnate into this physical planet Earth and have free will for themselves within the geographical and cultural framework of the time that they incarnate in history. Therefore, that soul can make changes or express free will within the confines and the boundaries of geography of where they're at, the culture and the time in history. So, while expressing free will and making choices, the soul must do that within certain parameters. As I just said, the time and history, etc. So next we can enter into the realm of metaphysics and the karmic question. Is one's life now based on past cause and effect? As an outgrowth, as a reward or a punishment of previous life or lives? Those are questions that we ask a lot too. And are some born in countries that know long periods of peace and prosperity, while others are born in countries that are consistent battlefields and wars that go on, destruction and poverty? What causes all of that to happen on? Is it just a coincidence? Or is there a rhyme and a reason to the cosmic drama that seems to engulf everybody's life on our planet Earth? Therefore, when you think about predestiny, it could be that everything taking place in your life, is whether it's good or ill, is a reaction or a reflection of a past cause, meaning something that was done in a previous lifetime. When you think about predestiny, then it could be that everything in your life is that way. It's not just coincidence, though we may want to look at that, or is it rhyme and reason, somewhere in between? Why are we here? Why is it that we're going through what we go through in our lives? Important questions to ask. So maybe we could say that everything is predestined and also based on prior causes. Prior causes that have been set into motion in previous lifetimes. Decisions that we made about how we were supposed to be. For instance, if a person is born with a physical handicap, it could be a result of a cause in their previous life, that when they came into this, they're suffering, so to speak, from some decision they made in the past. Maybe they injured someone in a previous life, hit their physical body. Or for a long period of time, they ignored people who needed help. That person then, in that lifetime, consciously or unconsciously becomes a schoolgirl, because that's what we're here for. So that person is relearning an important lesson about taking care of other people. Or the soul connecting to having an appreciation of those around him that are less fortunate. So with that, we want to be in mind that rather than feeling sad for people who are going through physical sufferings, maybe we could look at them and say there's a reason why that's going on. We have no idea what that soul is going through, what it experienced in previous lifetimes. That they have free will within the restrictions or the predestiny of their physical body to function in the particular lifetime that they're in. So we could look at it and say that person then has free will and predestiny. They came here with something from before and they still have free will. How they're going to connect to it. Are they going to grow with it? Are they going to learn from it? Or keep having to go through it again and again? So when we look at that, the main point to understand is that in this life, in this world that we live in, there is nothing that is coincidental. There is nothing that is an accident. There is a reason and a purpose and a rhyme and a reason, as the song goes, for everything that occurs. So, an affirmation I would like to share with you about this could be this. I realize that all that takes place in life, whether it is known as free will or predestiny, is the result of the law of cause and effect. And so I live my life accordingly. That's an important tool to know, that there is the law of cause and effect. And I want to be sure in the moment of my life that I am operating from a place of free will, of understanding, of making better decisions for my life. There is a biblical truth that underscores this law, and it says, as you sow, so shall you reap. And that relates to predestiny. It relates to cause and effect. A person may have free will, but it will be operating within the boundaries determined by prior causes or predestiny. So again, that brings up that truth. Predestiny brought us here, and then we have free will over here. The word karma, because we use that word a lot, means action. So the actions that you take, which is your karma, can either be positive or negative. Whether your actions today, whether they come from the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual body, they will result in a like-minded manifestation in your future. Think about that. You are creating your own predestiny through your own law of karma, through your own present-day activities in your life. If you are currently causing hardship for other people, and there are those out there in the world that do that, you are therefore creating a prior cause or negative karma or predestiny in your future. Whether it's in this lifetime, still that's going to happen, or in a future one. That's why it's been told metaphysically that when you see somebody doing something to somebody else, you don't need to get even with them. The law of karma and effect will do that. Or God, in that process, will take care of it. Not that God is judgmental and operates that way, but we do set up our lives. So maybe rather than being upset with somebody for things they've done to other people, we might want to bless them because we know things are going to come back and around, right? So the words from the Bible that say they already have their reward implies what I just said, that although that someone seems to get away from something they're doing, in the future it will be predestined to suffer the consequences of that karma they're creating for themselves. The experience of free will, therefore, will be within the context of their own suffering for what they've done. Truly sensitive and spiritual people do not like, and this is why I address it, for we don't like to see people suffering, do we? No, but at the same time we need to realize it is a consequence of their negative karma, what they're doing to themselves based upon what they've done to others in the past life. That's why we bring, when we come into this life, we have a lot of people in our relationships and our connections who we've known from lifetimes before. And that maybe there's something that's going on in this particular lifetime that we need to pay a debt to or have a debt paid to us from somebody within our life. And the relationships that go on. Maybe the relationships we look at, if there's people going through divorce, they've gotten together, maybe they've cleared something out and that marriage ended or a relationship ended. We have no idea what our soul is going through each lifetime. We just need to be aware of the fact that it is. And that we've gone through stuff in previous lifetimes. So an affirmation for this could be, I recognize that my actions today are establishing a predestiny in my tomorrows. Nothing is by coincidence. It's all based on karma. It's all based on the causes of what we've done in our lives in the previous lives and what we're doing now. In the case of higher or more evolved souls, the decision-making is theirs. In the case of younger, unaware souls, the decision is made for them based upon previous causes and karma. As the soul grows and it matures into adulthood more, the soul is predestined to be more positive or negative based on previous karma. So that's very important to know. It's an important law of forgiveness for ourselves, for one another, for what things have happened. Rather than to take everything seriously, it has to be a state of forgiveness, forgiving this person. Because if we have a connection or a reaction to what somebody else has done, we kind of are tying ourselves into that energy. And we don't want to do that for ourselves as well. So, as you engage in your daily business of living, constantly be aware that you are creating a predestiny all the time. Everything that you're doing, every action that you create is a previous cause for creating predestiny. Therefore, I would state that with free will, here we have the predestiny, taking care of things from the past, creating stuff in the future. At the same time, our free will, with that, you want to choose your actions carefully and wisely, for they're the holding blocks of your future. That is where your free will really does exist. For example, you are free to create your predestiny, so they work together. That's how they interact. And both of those are needed to cause your soul to grow, to awaken to its full potential in this lifetime, to really release whatever is done in the past. Keep that in mind, that maybe there's things that have happened and you don't know. It could be, I needed that. Excuse me. Maybe you needed that to clear up a previous debt. And you can bless it, and bless the person, and bless you. Huge state of forgiveness that we need to get into when we do this. So, if you turn over your personal will to the will of God for your life, as I've said here before, everything outside is a reflection of inside. And when we turn our life over to God, then our will is connected to God's will. And we get ideas of how to exercise our right free will in the choices and the decisions that we make in our life. If you're living a difficult life right now, you can make it easier by connecting to God, being connected to God in every moment of your day. If you're living a wonderful life and seems to be full of good karma right now, then you can use your free will to help other people, to give of the love that you have. So when you do that, you create a positive predestiny in your future, whether it's this lifetime or next lifetime. The ultimate truth is, beloveds, that both free will and predestiny coexist, complementing the life of each and every one of us as souls. And just got to think about this. Every time we come in, we're souls coming into this physical body, and we're working our way through our lives, and we're learning things, and we're connecting to God and Source, and releasing and watching our actions and our decisions, knowing this law of the universe. And so as souls make their way through spiritual growth, they awaken, we go through an enlightenment process, enlightenment, and what that results in is the ultimate goal of what we're here for, and that is reuniting in the light of God. So just be aware that that's what our souls are doing, clearing through all the mess from the past, working on not making any more karma for us right now, having free will to make better choices for our life as we connect to God. So, in that regards, I want to end this with a prayer that says, if you close your eyes for a moment, Divine Mind, my Creator, whose spirit and light live within me, I affirm and declare that you are intuitively guiding me in my exercise of free will, that I may always be creating a positive predestiny for my life. For this I give thanks, I let it be so.